Hi, brothers and sisters. I'm Sharon Marie, and a couple things happened to me in the last couple days that I think the Lord is prompting me to share with y'all. I haven't done a video in a long time, and I wasn't planning on doing one until these things happened in the last couple days. So here I go. First, on Monday night, I had a dream. I didn't even know where I was. I was with some people somewhere, and this man that I didn't really know and don't know him in real life walked up to me and asked me to marry him. And I didn't, well, of course I said yes at the time, and I put my arms around him and was happy. And then not much else happened after that. Then I woke up. I didn't think much about it that day. I thought, well, it's just a dream. I don't think about getting married. I'm almost 73 years old. I have no plans, don't have a boyfriend or anything like that. So that was kind of out in left field for me. I didn't think much about it. But yesterday, something happened that I didn't think much about at first, but then later I did. The Lord prompted me to take a closer look at this. So I'm going to read it so that I get it right. Today, I found a dead dove on my porch where I feed my birds. I looked out and I thought, wow, that bird's not moving. And it happened to be a dove, and he was just right there by my sliding glass door. He was belly down. He wasn't on his back. He had his belly down, face down, wasn't moving. And I did have gloves on because I was going to tend to the birds. So I picked him up and looked at him. He was definitely dead. And I then took him out to the field and laid him to rest. Came back, fed the birds like I normally do, and then came in. Didn't think much about it. But in my spirit, the Lord was prompting me to do a little more research into that, to think about what maybe that meant something. Well, I did. So this is what I found, a couple different articles. The term porch refers to a covered shelter attached to the entrance of a building, typically a home. It serves as a transitional space between the outdoors and indoors. When a dove dies on the porch, it becomes a focal point that invites reflection on its possible symbolism and messages. I thought, I should read on a little bit more. The porch's prominence as the entryway makes it a natural place for meaningful signs or omens to appear, according to many cultural and spiritual beliefs. Spiritual messengers. Doves are frequently seen as messengers from the divine or spiritual realms. A dead dove could be interpreted as a sign that a spiritual message has been delivered or that a transition is occurring. Spiritual message or sign. It could be viewed as a divine message, perhaps urging you to reflect on your spiritual path or current circumstances. Indicator of a transition. The event might signify that a transition or change is imminent, whether personal, emotional, or spiritual. Well, Western cultures often see the death of a dove as a sign or upcoming change or the passing of a loved one's spirit. It may be perceived as a message of hope or a reminder to cherish peace. Reflect on a personal meaning. Take a moment to consider, and I took this one seriously, take a moment to consider what the event might symbolize for you personally. Trust your intuition and feelings about the situation. So that was one article. Here's another one. A dead dove most commonly signals broken peace, interrupted blessing, or a soul in transition, not an imminent death in your family. Location changes the reading. A threshold find on the doorstep, the windowsill, or the porch carries a different weight than one in an open yard. A dead dove found somewhere that feels chosen, like your front step, below your window, or on the path you walk every morning, is read across multiple transitions as a signal that something is ending. Not someone, something. A period of quiet. A protection that has completed its work. I thought to myself, the restrainer completing his work? You are not making this up. The dove has carried the weight of peace, the soul, and divine favor in so many traditions for so long that the mind reaches for meaning when it sees one fall. That reaching is not superstition, it's pattern recognition, and it is very old. What did the ancient Israelite and the early Christian traditions say about the dove's death? In Levitical law, doves were prescribed for specific rituals: purification after childbirth, atonement for certain impurities, offerings for those who couldn't afford larger animals. The Biblical Archaeology Society documents this in detail, noting that doves were accessible sacrifice, the offering available to ordinary people at moments of a significant transition. In that framework, a dead dove didn't signal disaster, it signaled completion. A threshold crossed. The death was the work being done, not the punishment being delivered. The work of the restrainer was my thought. Early Christian iconography inherited this but shifted the emphasis. The dove became the image of the Holy Spirit descending at Jesus' baptism, then the image of the church itself, of peace that passes understanding. When Christian writers depicted the dove's absence or death, the inference was withdrawal rather than punishment. The spirit stepping back, something sacred no longer protected, not a verdict, a signal. Interesting. Does location change what a dead dove means? Yes. In folk traditions across Europe and the Middle East, thresholds carry their own weight. A doorstep is a boundary. What crosses it, living or dead, is doing something to the household's interior. A dead dove on your doorstep or porch, most threshold folk readings treat this as the most charged location. The protective peace of the home is interrupted. Something that was keeping the door clear has finished its work. It's worth asking plainly whether something in your domestic life is ending or asking to be acknowledged. Could it be? Thoughts keep coming to my mind. The restrainer is being lifted. The restrainer is going to be lifted. A doorstep find is the most symbolically loaded locations. Thresholds matter in folk traditions from Central Europe to the ancient Near East. They mark the boundary between the domestic world and what lies outside it. A dead dove on your threshold signals something about the peace or protection of your home. Specifically, something that was holding has completed its work. The restrainer? Or something that was keeping the peace has changed. Now on Tuesday night, last night, I had a dream of I had a dream I was in a very, very tall building. I wasn't there very long, but I was in a room all by myself. It was a small room, and it had sliding doors on two sides. But before the doors closed, I remember leaning out, and I looked over to my right, and there were other people leaning out to look down. And what I could see when I looked down were people really small. Well, I was so high up. The people were really small, just walking on the street, just walking and walking. I could barely see them for all the buildings. But then I backed up. The doors closed. And then what came to mind was Isaiah 26:20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. I don't know what all this means. I'm not a prophet. I'm just somebody with things that happened to him in the last couple of days. And I believe the Lord in my spirit was prompting me to make this video. But I was prompted as soon as I got up this morning to set my stuff up and make a video. So here we are. I don't know what you can do with this, but I believe the Lord is coming back very soon now, sooner than I thought, especially after all this in the last couple days. And I had been praying, Lord, show me if you're coming soon, when you're coming, as much as you can. Well, that's about it, brothers and sisters. Thanks for listening. I love you all. I'll see you in the clouds or up at home soon. Love you. Bye-bye.